Welcome back to The Fame, your one-stop source for the latest Duggar family updates and all things reality TV. Today, we've got a lineup you don't want to miss. First up, Jinger Duggar is pulling back the curtain on her family's reality TV life, revealing surprising insights about how 19 kids and counting portrayed her family, and how some of those edits left them feeling conflicted. Jinger's podcast tells us what she'd change, her thoughts on how her family was portrayed, and what she hopes for her own kids in the future. Next, we'll dive into Jill Duggar's bold new memoir that's making waves everywhere. Jill isn't holding back, sharing painful memories about her childhood and the extreme control Jim Bob and Michelle wielded over her life. This intense memoir opens up about CPS fears, the toll of her strict upbringing, and how she's moving forward. And in lighter Duggar news, JoyAnna Duggar's hair journey turned a bit messy, literally. A DIY box dye disaster sent her straight to the salon, but don't worry, she managed to turn it around just in time for her 27th birthday. We'll give you the full scoop on her transformation from beauty blunder to birthday brunette. Finally, let's talk Abby Duggar, who left behind her nursing career to join the Duggar family and has had fans talking ever since. From unconventional choices to risky flights, Abby's moves keep sparking plenty of chatter. Let's take a closer look at what her biggest fans and critics are calling her cringiest moments. Stay tuned to The Fame for all the Duggar family news, honest insights, and the latest in reality TV buzz. Jinger Duggar, now 31, recently opened up on her and her husband Jeremy Vuolo's self-titled podcast about her experience growing up on 19 Kids and Counting, the TLC show that first aired in 2008 and brought her large family into the public eye. While fans watched the Duggar lives unfold on-screen, Jinger admitted that her family didn't always like how they were portrayed. She explained that the show's editing sometimes created narratives that didn't align with what really happened. Jinger shared, "Maybe we felt like some things might have started to be cut in a way that we didn't like it. And it was like, I didn't say that." She went on to explain a specific example, recalling a time she rolled her eyes in an interview. The footage, however, was edited to look as though it was directed at a comment about her parents. "It was like, no, I didn't mean that," Jinger clarified, pointing out the disconnect between her actual intentions and how scenes were spliced together for TV. The Duggar family typically reviewed the rough cuts of each episode before they aired, which allowed them to catch any potentially misleading edits. However, they would still watch reruns to ensure nothing slipped past them. Occasionally, the family would gather to watch the show for a fun trip down memory lane. For Jinger, the series felt a bit like an extended set of home videos. Though these fully produced clips gradually replaced the more candid footage her parents once filmed of their lives, Jinger has expressed a desire to gain access to these old episodes now that the series has ended. With her own family growing, she wants her children to see what her childhood was like. Jinger and Jeremy, who married in 2016, have two young daughters, Felicity, 6, and Evangeline, 3, and are now expecting their third child. Looking back, she has mixed emotions about her upbringing within the strict rules of the Fundamentalist Institute in Basic Life Principles, IBLP. She chronicled this experience in her 2023 memoir, Becoming Free Indeed, where she explored her journey away from some of the beliefs she was raised with, including strict dress codes and lifestyle rules. Despite her different lifestyle now, Jinger still maintains a loving relationship with her family. Reflecting on this during her appearance on the Unplanned podcast with Matt and Abby Howard, she shared, "I'm grateful for my childhood. It was not perfect. We have differences. Everything's not perfect between us. But I think that at the end of the day, I love them, and I know that they know that." Jinger's journey shows a balance between embracing her individuality and staying connected to her roots, even as she moves forward with her own family. Jinger Duggar's reflections reveal a new side to the Duggar reality TV journey, reminding us that there's always more to the story than what we see on screen. Her openness about the editing, her family, and her upbringing offers fans a more complete picture of her life. As she prepares to welcome another child and shares her story with the world, it's clear that Jinger values her family history, flaws and all, and hopes to create a similar sense of connection with her own children. Next, we're diving into Jill Duggar's powerful revelations about her turbulent upbringing, a story that's shocked fans and brought to light some dark secrets from her family's past. Jill's memoir pulled no punches, offering readers an unfiltered look at her traumatic childhood. And as expected, the response has been intense. We're going to break down her most impactful revelations, from heartbreaking fears of CPS intervention to the strict control her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle, exerted over her life. This is one Duggar story you won't want to miss. Jill Duggar's memoir hit shelves last year and left fans reeling with its shocking stories of control, fear, and resilience. For years, Jill has been a symbol of courage in speaking out against her family's practices, even when it meant risking relationships with those she loves. And in her book, she didn't hold back on revealing just how intense things were inside the Duggar household. One of the most harrowing stories Jill shares is her deep fear that Child Protective Services, CPS, would one day take her and her siblings away. In the wake of the devastating revelation that her brother Josh had molested multiple sisters, the family's secret finally surfaced, though not by their choosing. Jill described how, after Josh confessed to a girl he was courting, a letter detailing the incident found its way into the hands of a church elder, bringing unwanted attention to the Duggar family. For Jill, the fear of separation was palpable. She worried every day that CPS would deem her parents unfit and split the family apart. The memoir also sheds light on a different kind of trauma Jill endured: the strict and invasive rules her father Jim Bob enforced in the name of modesty and control. In one instance, shortly after the birth of her son Samuel, Jim Bob confronted Jill for breastfeeding in what he deemed an immodest manner. Though she was mostly covered, Jim Bob still saw fit to give her a book on modesty, a moment that left Jill feeling humiliated and controlled, even as a mother herself. She poignantly shares her heartbreak, saying, "All my life I tried to show respect to Pops, but when was he going to show the same to me?" Jill's revelations paint a clear picture of a young woman searching for her own voice, only to be shut down by the people who were supposed to love and support her the most. This lack of respect and autonomy led Jill to finally step out of the Duggar shadow, embracing choices like wearing pants, a decision that symbolized her reclaiming control over her own life despite her father's disapproval. Despite the controversy that her memoir has sparked, Jill continues to build her own life apart from the Duggar legacy. She even attended her sister Jana's wedding recently, showing that while boundaries may have been set, she's still open to a relationship with some of her family. Fans can only speculate, but there are whispers that Jill may be working on a second book. If she is, it could mark the final turning point in her connection with her parents. But maybe that's just the piece Jill needs to fully heal and move on. So, what do you think? Does Jill's story of resilience inspire you, or does it change your perspective on the Duggar family? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Next, we're talking about JoyAnna Duggar's daring hair transformation journey that left her with more tears than cheers. After deciding to take a chance on a box dye, Joy found herself rushing to the salon with a stupid decision she was instantly regretting. Stick around as we reveal how Joy went from beauty blunder to stunning brunette just in time for her 27th birthday. It all started when JoyAnna Duggar, feeling the itch to freshen up her look, decided to try her hand at coloring her own hair at home. She shared the entire process with her fans on Instagram, from applying the box dye to the shocking results that left her reeling. When she rinsed out the dye, Joy was met with a horror story straight from the salon nightmares. Her roots had turned bright red, while the ends were black with a purplish undertone. In her words, it was instant regret. Although visibly disappointed, Joy showed her sense of humor by laughing off the unexpected disaster with her friend. But 2 days later, it was clear she couldn't live with the hair mishap any longer. She updated her followers with a car clip on her way to the salon, saying she'd tried everything she could think of at home to soften the color, but knew it was time to bring in the pros. Once at the salon, Joy shared her hopes for a fix. She wanted a chocolatey brown color with just a hint of red. After hours in the chair, she updated fans again with the final result, captioning her post, "We used a hair stripper to pull out the dark color, and then added chocolate brown dye to the roots with some highlights. It turned out beautiful and still has that auburn tint." Joy looked thrilled with the outcome, and her fans could see the relief and happiness in her smile. This new, rich color is definitely a bold change for Joy, Anna, who usually keeps her looks simple and natural. The timing couldn't have been better either, as she now has the perfect fresh look just in time for her 27th birthday celebrations. In the final reveal, Joy's hair looked healthy and chic, and the chocolate auburn hue brought out her eyes in a way that had her followers gushing in the comments. JoyAnna's hair adventure shows us that even beauty experiments gone wrong can lead to something beautiful in the end. Her fans are absolutely loving the final look, calling it stunning and a gorgeous new chapter for Joy. Have you ever had a box dye disaster? Let us know in the comments below. Finally, we're diving into some of Abby Duggar's most eyebrow-raising decisions and moments that have left fans either scratching their heads or cringing a little. Abby Burnett, once an independent nurse, left her healthcare career to marry John David Duggar, and since then her life choices have stirred quite a bit of controversy. From surprising career moves to some questionable adventures in flight, let's take a closer look at what fans have dubbed as Abby's cringiest moments. First up, we have one of Abby's most talked about decisions, agreeing to continue flying with John David even after a terrifying plane crash with their infant daughter Grace on board. As an experienced pilot, John David loves to fly, but this love came at a high cost when he had a crash with both Abby and Grace. While many expected her to take a break from flying after that experience, Abby stood by John David, even climbing back into the cockpit with him shortly after, which many fans found unsettling. Next on the list is Abby's decision to join an MLM, or multi-level marketing scheme. Fans were shocked when the former nurse, an educated professional, became involved with Monat, a company often criticized as a sketchy MLM. While Abby's nursing career once showcased her skill and independence, it seemed she traded that into work from home, selling Monat hair products. Her choice only added to fans' concerns about her giving up a promising healthcare path to embrace a sales gig, a typical move in the Duggar circle that's left many followers disappointed. Then there's the infamous plane-themed wedding, where Abby and John David went all in on aviation. Held in a literal airplane hangar, the couple's venue choice felt like an intense commitment to John's passions, which once again had fans wondering about Abby's own interests. This theme also included their much-talked-about pregnancy announcement, which some fans found comically similar to the horror movie Midsommar, complete with a floral wreath that made the announcement memorable, if not a little unusual. And of course, we can't forget Abby's pivot to joining her husband on medic corps missions, where they once even flew in fast food to the Bahamas as part of their disaster relief efforts. While there's nothing wrong with helping out, fans were quick to note that this disaster relief seemed more like an excuse to enjoy certain luxuries, a move that didn't go unnoticed. Finally, we need to touch on Abby's infamous sperm eyebrows that social media can't stop discussing. From her distinct brow style to endless stories of John David painting her toenails to save a few dollars on a pedicure, Abby's journey has become a fascinating blend of quirky choices and cringe moments, making her a topic of endless discussion among fans and skeptics alike. So what do you think? Are these just harmless quirks, or is Abby's life with John David turning into a case of trading independence for Duggar culture? While some fans can't look away, others find it hard to understand her choices. Let us know in the comments which moment had you cringing the most. Don't forget to subscribe to The Fame for all the latest Duggar news and deep dives into your favorite reality TV families. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.